Today's news focus. Tun Pehin Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi and Premier of Sarawak celebrates Shell Malaysia Aidilfitri Open House. Development of oil and gas industry returns Miri to glory. Tun Pehin Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi and wife Enliven Datuk Abdul Rahman Junaidi'S Open House. DPM Aidilfitri Open House receives visits from special guests. Premier of Sarawak visits DPM Aidilfitri Open House. Premier continues Aidilfitri visiting in Sibu. Assalamualaikum and good evening. The presence of His Excellency, the Governor of Sarawak, Tun Pehin Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar, and his wife, Tok Wan Fauzia Muhammad Sanusi, Enliven Shell Malaysia's 2024 Aidilfitri Open House on Friday. He and his wife's arrival at 4:20 p.m. at a leading hotel here were greeted by Sarawak Premier Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Abdul Rahman Zohari, Tun Datuk Abang Openg, and his wife, Puan Sri Datuk Ahmad Jumakni, Tun Tuanku Bujang. Earlier on, Datuk Patinggi Abang Zohari and his wife, who arrived at 4:05 p.m, were welcomed by Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Amar Professor Dr. Sim Kui Hian, and Speaker of the Sarawak State Legislative Assembly, Tan Sri Datuk Amar Muhammad Asfia Awang Nasa. At 4:30 p.m, guests of honour and attendees are invited to dine while singing Aidilfitri songs by local entertainers. The development of the oil and gas industry will be capable of restoring the glory of Miri as a focal point for industries as it once was. Sarawak Premier Datuk Patinggi Abang Zohari stated that external investors such as Shell Malaysia, PTT Exploration and Production, PTTEP, Mubadala and Petroleum Sarawak Petros will refocus their investments in Miri.
But I must say here that Shell sudah berkembang di Sarawak. Headquartersnya di Miri dan banyak kaki tangannya dah pindah ke Miri. Meaning Miri will be back like before. Dan kalau upstream activitiesnya bertambah, banyak lagi lah kegiatan-kegiatan hiliran yang akan berlaku di Sarawak. Shell is one, you had the PTTEP one, Sidak Exploration termasuklah Mubadala daripada UAE, PSC contractor, dan Petros sendiri pun akan memainkan peranan sedikit demi sedikit.
He said this to the media after attending Shell Malaysia's 2024 Aidilfitri Open House hosted in Kuching on Friday. The Governor of Sarawak, Tun Pehin Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi and his wife, Tok Wan Fauzia, graced the Aidilfitri Open House hosted by Deputy Minister of Utility and Telecommunications Utilities, Datuk Abdul Rahman Junaidi in Kuching on Saturday. The arrival of Tun Pehin Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi and his wife at 11:30 a.m. was welcomed by Datuk Abdul Rahman Junaidi and his wife, Datin Siti Shorgaya Ahmad Zaidin, and their family. The open house was held at the Waterfront Kuching Hotel on Saturday and attended by invited guests. A variety of local dishes was served to the excitement of visitors such as mi kolok, lemang, Sarawak laksa and rendang daging. The Aidilfitri Open House organised by the Deputy Prime Minister, Datuk Sri Fadilah Yusof on Saturday, received visits from several special guests. The Governor of Sarawak, Tun Pehin Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi and his wife had the opportunity to attend the event on Saturday. Both of them arrived at 10:20 a.m, was warmly welcomed by Datuk Sri Fadilah himself, who then escorted Tun Pehin Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi and his wife to the main VIP table for some refreshments. Members of the public who came did not miss the opportunity to shake hands with Tun Pehin Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi, who is famously known for his friendly demeanour towards the people of this state. Also present were Sarawak State Secretary Datuk Amar Muhammad Abu Bakar Mazuki and other guests of honour. Early on Saturday, the Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Abang Zohari and his wife had the opportunity to visit the Aidilfitri open house organised by the Deputy Prime Minister, Datuk Sri Fadilah Yusof. He and his wife arrived at around 9:40 am and was warmly welcomed by the Putrajaya Member of Parliament. During the ceremony, Datuk Sri Fadilah as the host and the Minister of Energy Transition and Water Transformation welcomed members of the public who started arriving as early as 9 am. Also enlivening the ceremony was the Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Amar Professor Dr. Sim Kui Hian and wife Datin Amar En Ong Siok Yan. Residents around Kuching, especially from the Putrajaya area, did not miss the opportunity to attend and take commemorative pictures with their Member of Parliament. Datuk Patinggi Abang Zohari spent about over half an hour before taking his leave. The Premier, Datuk Patinggi Abang Zohari and his wife continued their Hari Raya visitation on Saturday in Sibu. He and his wife began their Aidilfitri visiting on 4 Shawwal with the residence of Deputy Minister of Education, Innovation and Talent Development, Datuk Dr. Anwar Rapai. The Sarawak Premier's arrival at around 11:40 am was greeted by Datuk Dr. Anwar Rapai and his family members. Also present were the Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts, Datuk Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah and his wife Zuraini Abdul Jabbar and Chief Political Secretary to the Premier of Sarawak, Fazruddin Abdul Rahman. This is followed by a visit to the residence of former Igan Member of Parliament, Datuk Abdul Wahab Dollah in Kampung Nangkat Sibu, as well as the residence of Temenggong Datuk Wan Hamid Adrus Tuanku Muhammad in Jalan Jasmine, Sibu. In the evening, Datuk Patinggi Abang Zohari attended the Hari Raya Aidilfitri ceremony, Sibu Division, at the University of Technology, Sarawak. And that's the English edition with me, Didi Nurshafiqah. More news can be found in our official portal, ukas.sarawak.gov.my and social media platforms including Facebook and YouTube. To end today's bulletin, we showcase the 2024 Shell Malaysia Aidilfitri Open House with the Governor of Sarawak, Tun Pehin Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi'S Tuanku Jaafar and his wife, Toh Puan Fauziah Muhammad Sanusi. #Saluran Informasi Rakyat. Have a good night.